welcome to Rockin Comics. I'm Zach.
I'm Amy.
That's Colby.
Hi.
Special guest. This is awesome. Colby is from Gmart Comics. Gmart Comics here in town. It's where I get all my books, and he has thankfully loaned his skills and talents to this week's Rockin Comics. So thank you, man.
You're welcome. What little I have is yours.
We hear a lot more from Colby in the podcast, so make sure you check it out at rockincomics.com. Man, we got a lot of comics to talk about, so we're going to start with the highlights, but we'll start with Fear Itself. I don't know if you call that a highlight, but they finally wrapped up Fear Itself, Marvel. Ta-da!
How did it make you really feel?
I don't know! I felt so good going into it, and I felt let down.
I was let down by the whole story. The best part I liked was after the story, all the introductions of the new stories that they're going to be publishing later. The Hulk, the Hulk being the one I want to see the most.
Right. Gotcha.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I took away from this whole story.
My goodness.
Wow. Amy?
Not sure that we need to say any more on this, really.
Other than we have another hero dying that I thought was A, unnecessary, and B, you know he's not dead.
Yeah.
Well, he's a god, for Pete's sake. He's not dying. Do they ever die?
He died and came back already within the last 5 years.
It's dumb.
How many times do they have to do this every few
really,
years?
people?
The highlight I will say, the best part of that book for me, Captain America picks up Thor's hammer. That was such an awesome image, and I thought it was so cool because Tony Stark didn't give him a magic shield because he's a jackass. I thought it was nice that he had the hammer, so I thought that was good. I like that part.
It's very iconic.
There's your splash page right there.
That's the one to get.
I did like how towards the back here, Cap has his shield here, and he says, well, I can try to fix that crack in it, and he's like, no, leave it.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. So, once again,
think that's very Cap.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. Some good points to take out of it, but overall, Marvel, again, has let me down on the finish of a really cool story arc in my book.
I agree with this.
All right. Nice. All right, moving on to the highlights from this week. DC has got a lot of highlights. BPRD.
BPRD first.
It's always a joy.
Yep.
Get it.
2 of 5 Russia.
Yeah. Grab it. It's Hell on Earth. The Hell on Earth series has been awesome. Pick them up. Do it. Go with it. Get the trade paperbacks.
Read the issues and get the trade paperbacks. And then also buy the oversized hardcovers because those are really nice.
Wow. And get them all where? Where should we get
At Gmart Comics.
Nice.
Thanks for pointing out how big an idiot I am again. That's awesome.
We have a website.
It's not spelled Carmix, though.
Gmart Comics. Gmart Comics.
Ouch. So,
We'll put the link in the doobly.
yeah, it'll be down there. Red Hood and the Outlaws from DC. It's probably the next book I'm dropping.
I've already dropped it in my mind.
Wow.
I didn't feel anything from the first issue, honestly. I mean, they had that controversy with a woman in a bikini, and I just thought, well, if this is what people are taking from the story, what's really the point?
You have a problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really like the art. So there you go. That's all I got.
The art is good.
Moving on.
Let's do
Nightwing.
Okay.
Yeah, Nightwing. Nightwing number 2. Once again, DC, for me, has given me a chance to care about a character who I really haven't given a crap about since he became Nightwing. I liked him as Robin. I liked Dick Grayson as Batman. I've never cared for Dick Grayson as Nightwing.
Until this book.
Yes,
Yeah.
until now.
This book. It's good action, good villain, things you both want. And like you mentioned, it's delving into his history, his origin as a circus performer.
Yeah.
Bringing that back and connecting it to whatever storyline is going on now, and I thought it was awesome.
There you go. Now, you've been a Nightwing fan for a while, right? No? Am
no,
I misremembering?
Tim Drake.
Sorry. So many Robins, so many things.
So many.
But I like Nightwing for his involvement in Teen Titans. However, my Robin is Tim Drake Robin.
Okay.
Very
Fair
well.
enough.
What are you doing? I like the book.
There you are.
There you go.
Batman number 2, for me, I'm a fan of it. From story... Wow. I'm okay with the story. The art, I'm not near as bothered by as some people. feel about the art in this book?
I thought it was good. Greg Capullo is definitely better than he used to be when he was on, I think he did Spawn, maybe some other stuff. I like his art has improved. I understand why you're not a big fan, but I think it's serviceable. I think it tells the story well. And for me, that's good enough. If the story works and the art is good enough, I'm into it.
Yes.
Nothing's going to blow you away as far as the art, but it was. I think it was a fantastic story.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it, and there's a difference. We've talked a lot about how the art needs to match the story, and you can have a poor story with really good art, and the book gets by, but you can't have it be the other way around. But I don't think the art detracts from the story as much as Amy might have you believe.
Yeah, it bothers me. But we've said before, I am looking at things from a completely different perspective than a lot of people, and that's what do you do? What do you do? Sorry for going to art school.
That's kind of how it goes. So
it's a valid perspective.
Yeah, but overall, it's still worth getting. Also worth getting Wonder Woman #2. Once again, this is another character who my only exposure to used to be in Justice League, and for me that was enough. I was never intrigued enough about Wonder Woman to go out and get any other solo books or anything like that until now. And man, I really like how they're working the myth, and maybe they've done it before and I've missed it, but the mythology of Wonder Woman into this story and the way it works with the art, to me, really sells this book.
Yeah, I've been reading Wonder Woman series for a couple years now, and every writer tries to put their own take on the mythology of her origin. So we're getting a little bit of that again, but I really like what they're doing with it. They're doing something a little new and different, and the art is fantastic. You can't go wrong. And Azzarello knows how to write strong women. He's written it before in his previous books, like 100 Bullets comes to mind. So he knows how to write a real character who is a woman without turning her into a parody of a woman. So I recommend it.
She's a strong individual who happens to be a woman.
Yes.
This book.
There you go.
Don't listen to the people who say that comics degrade women.
Not all of them.
This book.
No, that's a good one. Speaking of comics that are about strong characters that are women, that one right there, Supergirl #2.
This cover. I mean, just this cover.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's been one of the big surprises. And we've talked a bunch of times in the podcast, and we talked more about it today, how DC, this new initiative with the New 52, has, I think, done its job in the way that I now give a crap about characters that I didn't care about before. Nightwing, Wonder Woman, and now Supergirl. Man, I really like it. Just so like it.
Yeah, this is a fantastic issue. I thought it was really fun. Great take on Supergirl. I love that she's just coming in punching and not gonna be apologetic about it at all.
And she's hitting. Like, she's not just swinging, she is hitting and poking and throwing, and she is laying the smack down on Superman.
Yes.
And that makes me giggle.
Get an eye gouge with her thumb. Super eye gouge.
It's awesome.
It's a new power. Super eye gouge. It's fantastic. Oh,
all
man.
the kids will be trying it now.
Yeah.
Oh,
no. Don't do it. And then wrap it up with me, which finally, DC getting Justice League right after so long of being in the crapper. Jeff Johns and Jim Lee. It's Justice League with those two. If it sucks, you guys just flush DC down the toilet, because if they can't get this right, nothing's going to happen. But this is so right. And you got Superman, you got Green Lantern, you get the Flash introduced, you got Batman, and we have the origins or beginnings of the origins of Cyborg in this book. Man, it clicks for me.
And all the heroes versus heroes, as they get to know each other, they have to fight each other first, and it's awesome seeing who wins and who loses in the one-on-one rounds. Jim Lee's art is fantastic. I loved every page on here, I think.
Really good. Just really good. You can't complain about the art. Well, you can, but...
Go ahead.
You're going to.
Pick a panel.
This is the interesting thing that I noticed in here. The Flash apparently is using his powers constantly. Every time you see the Flash, he's got his blur lines on.
Well,
and I'm like, dude, really?
He's the fastest man alive. Even standing there,
he's like a hyperactive child.
All right, well, he's not wibbling. He's not wobbling there.
He's not
or there.
Not that
he was in the process of doing things.
He is actually standing still here, but whenever he moves, it's like
he's the Flash.
He's like Charlie Sheen. He only has one speed. Go.
He can't just walk slowly across a room when
No.
he can walk there fast. Come on.
Now, be honest. If there were movement scenes in there and there were not blur lines, you'd be like, what the heck? He's the fastest man alive. Why isn't there blur lines?
No, I don't think I would.
Okay, I would have.
It just makes me I just noticed that and it made me laugh. I think it's funny. I'm not complaining. I think it's funny.
All right.
It's like he can't move without being like, look at my powers. Look at my powers. Look at me go.
Well,
Which is actually a little bit more of a Wally West.
Yeah, I was going to say,
thing.
Wally West is more of a show-off.
Yes.
But this isn't Wally West.
This is
No.
Barry Allen, so
Yeah.
it's kind of funny.
Now, in the podcast, you made a comment that is poignant and sad all at once about The Flash.
I liked Barry Allen in this book a lot more than I liked him in The Flash. What do you do?
I don't know if that's
I mean, it's Justice League. I don't know.
And maybe it's Jeff Johns' influence. I don't know.
That could be. It very well could be.
I think Jeff Johns has a unique take on The Flash, different than other writers. And I noticed a difference in the way that Jeff Johns writes him and the Flash writer writes him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jeff Johns' version is better.
Yeah, and maybe it's because there is a little bit that feels like bleed over of Wally West. Maybe that's why I like him. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but it's enjoyable. I like the Flash in this book.
Yay. So Justice League, great. But this week's Rockin' Comic of the Week, you would think it'd be Justice League. And I did too for a while. But these two convinced me it should be Supergirl number 2.
Yay!
And I think rightfully so. I mean, if you've not gotten into the Supergirl at all, man, go pick up number 1 and grab this book, and I guarantee you're not going to be disappointed. If you want superheroics, if you want action, if you want an alien being alien,
Yeah.
without being completely, I'm going to take over your mind.
Yet. That's a power will come later.
It's hard not to love that book. It really is. It's really well done. Kudos to you, DC.
Yep.
Yes.
So, yeah, were there any highlights that we missed that we did not read that you read, that you thought really stood out this week?
Catwoman.
Catwoman?
Catwoman number 2, even though there was a big controversy about how Catwoman number 1 ended, this one was more of like a spy story. She's obviously trying to steal something. She's using disguises. She's using her influence to get into rich places. Bruce Wayne is in there.
Oh.
Not as Batman, but as Bruce Wayne. It's like she's still in Batman's world. And I just thought it was fun. And there was some more costume sex. But it was done more tastefully.
Wow, 2 issues in a row?
Wow.
Well, it picks up right where the other one
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, at least
They weren't finished, so...
Wow. Wow. All right, then. Continuity. Thank you, DC. Good job. So, overall, DC, thumbs up. And this is coming from a guy who's a Marvel guy, so... Man, I'm a fan of what's going on.
Yeah, DC's making it happen.
Yes. And real quick, we had in the podcast, well, we're probably going to get as much exposure as we did there. This because we had so much to do and we have a guest, we didn't do much on Amy's Awesome, but you have kind of an Amy's Awesome.
Kind of an Amy's Awesome. I have seen scans of the Sailor Moon and Sailor V, which the Sailor V has never been over here before. I've seen the scans. It looks really good. I still don't have my copies.
Have you ordered them yet?
No.
Oh, that would explain that.
Here's the thing. There's another website out there that competes with Amazon.
Uh-huh.
And there's a little bit of a price difference, and I'm like trying to decide which I want to go for because I have the Amazon card and you get points on your Amazon card. So it's like, and I don't know how long I'm going to do this before I'm like, just why? But it looks really good. We talked about that in, I think, our second ever podcast or something.
Way long ago.
It's been ages, and I'm just thrilled that it looks good because I love Sailor Moon.
There you go.
And you had an archive. What was your archive?
Kind of.
Yeah.
We're just reminiscing. Check out the podcast. I won't get into it here. Check out the podcast at rockincomics.com. Let's just put it this way. I like it when Marvel and DC work together. And if listen to the podcast, because we have a great idea for a new story arc for one of the companies or our own that we're creating.
We have like 5 great ideas.
At least.
Yeah.
Seriously.
We're not kidding. We may be geniuses. So check it out.
Jeff Johns.
So check it out at rockincomics.com. Until next time, I'm Zach.
I'm Amy.
I'm Colby.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye.
That's how we do it.